Hi, my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. I am taping this segment in advance of being gone, so we have less segments this week. I have less segments this week, so there's a bit more going on in today's. We have Socialites, the library quilt, and the Tulip Pink butterfly. And disclaimer again, how much I will get done to do these pre-tapings, it is what it is. So, but let's start out with the Socialites because we have all the blocks. You have the original layout if you're going to do that one, which makes a much bigger quilt, which I talked about last Friday. So you can go back and watch that video again. And I discussed that and about that Friday and the Friday before about the butterfly layout that some other people in the Socialites Lounge, Fat Quarter Shops group for this Sew Along at Facebook, they put together the butterfly variation. And then I took their variation and I'm doing a slightly different variation. So we're at the point now where I want to show you the quarter square triangles, the quarter square blocks, and I have them all made. Plus I cut all the units that need to go around that border. Sweet, very sweet. I'm so happy to have that. So let's take a look. I'm going to go ahead and get the other camera. For the quarter square blocks, I decided that I would just, to keep the definition of line, rather than making a half square triangle on one side and then the split on the other, that I would go ahead and make the just a regular quarter square triangles and keep that line. So, oh, it's not opening. There we go. Why isn't it opening? Oops, I can't see through the camera that well. Okay, so it's going to look like this. So I've got a chain piece and I'm using this cutter. I really like this because it's stable. There's a couple really good cutters out there. This also uses your rotary cutter blade in there, which is nice. It's got a little screwdriver to get it open to do that. So I will press all of these open and then show you on the wall. What needs done here is this block removed, and I remade it, and I'll show you that block removed. And then there I just folded up the quarter square triangle. See, it's a different fabric, and I had them made for the other layout, so I just folded it for color so I could get an idea if I really wanted to do that. So I have to have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, and then these are the half square triangles, which are totally fine. Okay, so let's first remove this one, and then we'll go all the way to the top and remove that one. And then down here I have them underneath. So what I did was make it the same unit, but it's all white on this side, and I decided to keep it structured like this so that I had just, instead of having just one seam here, I would kind of keep that unit so that I would have that line, that visual line. I don't know, it just felt right. You could do a half square triangle instead, on that side without us, so you would have no seam here. You could do that, but I just felt like that seam was interesting for the layout. Oh, I'm backing into the library quilt. Okay, so there. So see the difference now? Now this is the design the group over at the Socialites did for the body, and I love it. The body is so pretty like that. Okay, let's remove this and put the new ones. Same thing. The new one has just one. I don't have a red on the other side because I don't really need it. Well, I don't need it at all because it's the wrong, it doesn't give the visual we want. And we have two more. I know, the suspense. Then we get to see it in the final version. All right, here we go. I'm thinking, oh, it's good. Good. Yes, okay. So there, that one needs shoved up a little bit. And the blocks are what I want. So there, that's what I'm going to be doing. Now, I don't know that if next Friday on the video these will be sewn. I have a high probability no, but I might get some of it sewn before I leave to do the filming. So we'll see. But at this point, And my website today, you'll have a picture of this so that you can see it all together. And I've cut this now. So these are mine are 6-inch blocks, so this would be 6 by 12 because it's 2. Then I did a 6 by 12 here, and then a 6 by 6 here, and a 6 by 18 because there's 3 blocks, and the same thing up here, 18. And then have another squares on the ends, and then 6 by 12, 6 by 12, another 6 by 12. So, no, it's not. I don't need a 6 by 12 up there. These are just 6.5 and 6.5. The 6 by 12s are down here because I have 1 block and 1 block and 1 block. So there's 3 units, 1, 2, 3. So you have to cover it with a single and then a double. All right, there it is. Oh man, look at this. Look, same fabric. I'm gonna have to take this out and rotate it because no, cannot have that. I am loving this so much, just so much, that, you know, I probably also, I just have to fix this one, you know. There we go. Just need to straighten it out a little bit. There we go. So after I put those other units, that probably will also put like a 1-inch border all the way around the whole thing, because when I bind it, I want to just have it float. Maybe a 1.5, maybe cut a 1.5-inch border all the way around in the background white, which is my Promise Me background white. And then I will do that floating thing. So, and I believe, I don't know if I have blue. I might have blue for binding. So it might be a different shade of different blue than that one. I don't know what I have. I have to look, or maybe I try to get some more of that one if I don't have enough. But I think I want to do blue, so that pop of blue for the binding. Before we jump into the library quilt, and that part was pre-recorded, what you just watched when I was doing the last time I was doing the library quilt stuff. I did put the new shirt on, but you can see my hair is cut. Okay, so I have a couple of things. The Tulip Pink butterfly assembly, the construction of that quilt is going to halt for construction delays until I return at the beginning of, in May. So we'll go to the first Thursday in May. We'll go back to that schedule. You won't see anything more on the butterfly quilt this month because I just ran out of minutes to accomplish sewing anything. And putting multiple things in a video, they're just getting too full and too, so we're just going to pause that project, that construction. So it's a construction delay for the Tulip Pink butterfly, which is not a problem. So we will probably sew up quite a bit of it on the first Thursday in May, and then get back on schedule. So okay, what else do I have? Well, the Quilt Alliance, it's been on the calendar. They have a block of the month going on, and it started this month. So it's a shortened, it's not every month of the year. It just started here in April, and it is a celebration of their 30th birthday of the Quilt Alliance. And the Quilt Alliance is an organization that tracks stories of quilt makers, quilt makers who are well known and everyday quilt makers and everything in between. And they track the stories, document them, and they do such a fantastic job. So they decided for their 30th anniversary to do a quilt along, and they asked however many of us, 8 designers or something, to do a block. And the first block is by Ricky Timms. And so here is a graphic of the block. And you have to be a member of the Quilt Alliance in order to participate in this. But every month I will show you the block and tell you who the person was, because one of the months it's me. And I love that Georgia Bonesteel is part of this. I just love that. She is such a pioneer in quilt making and made such a huge difference in people's lives early on. So you will get to see, and so if you're part of the Quilt Alliance, a block from Georgia Bonesteel. You can get information in the description box below and at my website today for the link. So there you can go and sign up for the Quilt Alliance. You can, it's worth it. They have so much cool information. All right. We have 2 other things we're going to, I'm not even going to count them. What are we talking about? So, but Earth Day is tomorrow. And I always think that's a really special day for all of us to think about how we take care of our precious earth, and so, take a few minutes tomorrow to think about Earth Day. There's probably somebody doing a project out there, but I didn't have time to go and look. Okay, what do I have? We have the library quilt I want to talk about. We're going to do another section. I've got this up here, and I want to tell you about one of the projects that's coming up that we will be quilting. So we're going to do the library quilt first. Okay, so now we can go back to the library quilt. There it is. Let me, there we go. Oops, got it in the picture. So we're going to take a look at how to go ahead and approach one block as book rather, and put like an extra piece in there for a spine on it. Like, I think that would be super cool. I'll do it with a selvage because they're kind of more interesting, but you might have actually a fabric or a text print or something that you want to, or some kind of fussy cutting fabric that you want to do in a strip. And so we'll take a look at doing that for one of the blocks. The library quilt is one of it's the last project that we're sewing from my book Holiday Hoopla. And here is Love Your Library. And it's a really simple concept library quilt, and you can fancy it up. I'll give you some ideas about that. You might watch in the group and see if people, I know one person already made their own angled block for the space between the first two sections. They made their own angled book. So also, if you're sewing along with me, please share some photos of where you are in the project, share your fabrics you're using, share the block you've made so far or blocks, share something, because so many of you said you wanted to do this and I'm not seeing anybody sewing. I saw a couple of people and that was it. So I'm not able to even get any pictures to show you for inspiration because you're not sharing them. So please, please, please share over in our community, Quilt Along with Pat Sloan, so that I can see that you really are sewing with me, because why am I doing this? That's like if you're not sewing with me. All right, we are going to do a salvage. I'm just going to show you a nifty way to put one on the edge of a book to put into one of the blocks. So take a look. Here it is, top stitched, and let me get you down close and personal. So there you go. You can see where I top stitched. Let me get in the view. So top stitch right here, very close to the edge. All right. So instead of doing math to get something in here, on here rather, I am just going to fold this under until I have the same distance on the other side. So, you can get your ruler out and you can measure that this is a 1/2 inch over here. And so that means I want a 1/2 inch on this side. And you're very good at telling a 1/2 inch, you quilters. We all are. And then I will just pin that. And what am I going to do? Oh, that's a bent pin. How'd that get in there? What am I going to do? I am going to just top stitch the other side. And then the extra is folded under there, and not really that worried about that. I'm also just now going to, hold on, let me just pull you out. I'm just going to cut off this part here because I don't need that in my way. All right, let me sew the other part. This is such a fun and easy way to go ahead and put an accent piece on one of your strips without really doing any math. And using the selvages where you can't fold the edges under. You just cannot. They're too narrow. I mean, you could do some math, but this will let you adjust how much you want to see of the fabric part that goes with the selvage, because you might have a piece like the one I had earlier, which is more narrow. And on this one, I would press under the raw edge, that's not the selvage edge, and then I would center that whole thing like this, and then pin it down. Or you could glue it down, but I would press it first on, and then center it afterwards. Here I had more to play with, so I could sort of maneuver. I could see what I wanted and then work from it in that direction. So now, I'll use this in one of the other blocks. I might use it on a horizontal block Yeah, right? Of course. But there is how it would, let me just put under. So there's how it would look in the bookshelf. So cute. Yeah, I think it definitely one of the horizontal books because of sewing machines. So cute. And I might still put this one in here. So I'm saving it in the bin. Put it on one of the other rows. So for today, what I want to do is just show you how I've gone and looked for some other fabrics to add into the collection that I'm working with. Because I only got a layer cake. I got a layer cake of Happiness in Bloom by the wonderful Deb Strain. And so they're only 10-inch squares. And a few of the strips for the books need to be longer than that. So I need longer strips for some of them. And I thought, well, I'm going to get some extra fabrics. So I did get these two, which this one might be what I do for the shelf, and then the frame around it where I have the navy. This might be the outer border. And then I also did get another piece of this pretty fern to use, so that they're a little bit longer pieces. But I thought, I'm going to look around at what I own too. So I went and got the Promise Me and my fabric line Promise Me, because I have the greens here are really similar. They're not exact, but this one's very similar. This one here, and then the lighter one with the swirls also works. Plus I have the black. So this gives me, I can do another book spine with this. So this gives me enough to do longer ones. Plus these are great bases to put on a selvage like I just showed you. So this is one that was sent to me the other day that said Good Dog Collection. I just think that's so cute. And what I'm going to do is I will end up putting this one on, I think on the black, but have very little green. So I'll get it, tucked under or folded under and top stitched down, so that it is pretty much just the white like that. And I can put it on the black and it'll really pop. It'll really show up well on there. So this is how you go. Just go find some things that you already own and add them in for this collection. Now next Friday, because I'm still on travel, but I'm going to try to do one more block. I'll do the horizontal block and show that next Friday, and I'll put this in there. And you guys show your blocks during the week so that we can see them. I won't be able to collect them up and put them in the video, because as soon as I end this video, I'm starting to tape the next Fridays, because I'm leaving in a day. So I'm trying to finish these up. All right, let's go to the other side, and I just want to tell you about something crabby. Yeah, something crabby. And here we go. The Crabby Quilt. This is the quilt designed by my friend Wendy Shepard, who we're doing the Harrisonburg with, and many other projects. She did the elephant quilt, but this is the crab quilt. And it is so darn cute. We're going to do a quilt along with this. You can get the pattern, and the link is in the description box here and over at my website today. But what I'll be doing is I'm going to try to get this one quilted before we start, and then I will do a table runner. I think I'm doing the top row, and I'm going to do a table runner, and I'll do an extra little border to go with that. So you could do one block for the quilt along. You could do a table runner. You could do a smaller version. You could do like a banner if you have like a cute spot to hang like a couple little crabs. See, it has a little sand. Little sand spots. It is just so cute. Okay, I have one mail call. Speaking of cute, because this is the last mail call until I get back, because I won't be able to pick. There's no more mail when I'm doing the last filming. So this is from Wendy, and she's in Scotland. Yes, so fun to get. I got Royal Mail. I think that's very exciting. And so I read what it is, but I didn't open it. It's a critter. I haven't looked though. I haven't looked, Wendy. I haven't looked. Oh my goodness, I can't wait. So cute. So cute. Look at this. And she said the plaid is a Scottish plaid, because it's a Scottish sheep. And so we just, this is just so cute, Wendy. And I believe she said this one is in a Lori Holt book. Is that what she said? Well, yeah, I think that's what she said. And so I will put a link. I will check that and put a link. Just stinking cute. I love it. Mwah. Okay, friends. I expect to see some library blocks coming now. No matter where you are, whether you've made just one like this or you've just got your fabric selected, be sure you show me. And pick up your Crabby pattern along with, get my Porch Swing fabric so that you can sew along with me and make it just like mine. Or you don't have to, but you know, it'd be super cute that way. So I love you. Mwah. Oh, wait. Remember, I'm on travel, and so next week, there's no video this Saturday, there's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and the following Monday, and I will have a calendar up for May. I'm doing that on the road and loading it, so it will be there, so next Friday or prior to that, sometime it'll be up there, but I will remind you next Friday, because I'm getting ready to film that video now. Okay, so remember, you can look at the calendar and see what days I have videos and what days I don't. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.